If you are concerned about your kidney health, I have good news for you. There is one thing you can do once a day to lower your creatinine levels and give your kidneys the health boost they need. It's developing a new good habit. So today I'll show you 6 good habits that will be the key to your success in beating kidney disease. Because when you set your kidney health as your main goal, you will be able to get incredible results without struggle. My name is Catherine and this is Double O Kidney. If you are a kidney disease patient and if you are sick and tired of all those videos here on YouTube always telling you what not to do or scaring you with the symptoms of kidney disease, you're in the right place. Because I'll point you to the solution and not to the problem. And today I'll show you that there is still hope to repair your kidneys. There is a comment in particular I absolutely have to read you before I start. I wanted to tell you that CKD is a bad but you can do it. You can defeat it. 2 years ago, I was stage 4 and my creatinine was always higher and I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to eat and I didn't know who to trust. But I started to search for a solution and I've learned one important thing. If you want to survive, you need to educate yourself. You have to know how to eat, you have to know how to read your labs and how to take your meds. You have to form your good habits. When I've understood this, it took me just 6 months to go from losing kidney function at every new blood test to getting it back. Incredible! I'm writing this here because this channel was the light at the end of the tunnel for me. So thank you, Catherine, and thank you to those who have helped me. Well, thank you too, John, for letting us know about this. Thank you very much. And well, this is not the first comment of this kind I've read here, but it really made me think. What if the solution was easier than they told us? Because I've met several patients that after getting informed started to find easy ways to treat the intrinsic causes of kidney disease. Once they took control of their health, they've started seeing improvement in their GFR and in their creatinine levels. Something worth thinking about, in my opinion. And also guys, I'm answering some of your comments today at the end of the video, especially those from my video titled "You should eat more bananas to repair your kidneys." I'll answer them in the last part of today's video. But if you want to watch the segment now, look at the YouTube progress bar you can see here. YouTube now has this feature that lets you jump to the part of the video you want to see. A nice way to navigate the video. But let's not digress, let's start with our first good habit now. First day, start your own health journal. Okay, this alone can make all the difference in the world because when you start knowing more about your own health, you can make informed decisions. You can become your own health advocate, and that's the way to start seeing changes. How to do that? A health journal is like a diary, but lets you keep track of your health. And this is a lot more important than people think, okay? It won't just help you keep up with the health and dietary changes. It can help you lower your creatinine. Here's how. A health journal will help you keeping track of your blood pressure and blood glucose levels. Writing these 2 levels down is a great way to help your kidneys improve because you will know if what you're doing is working. It will make it a lot easier to stay on track. Writing things down provides a layer of accountability and a reason to stay on track. For example, if you want to eat less sodium, you may find it a lot easier to achieve this goal when you write down what you eat, and this will make your kidneys really happy. A health journal will also help you notice patterns. If you occasionally get weird symptoms or maybe you have trouble sleeping or other issues, keeping a journal will help you notice factors that cause your symptoms. And this will also help communicating with your doctor because now you have a detailed record from a medical standpoint. But most of all, it will be helpful for you to see objectively over time how changes made to your lifestyle have affected your kidney health and how it has improved. Now, there are two ways to do this. You can download the Excel spreadsheet I personally use, like this one. I'll show you here. This, okay? The link is in the description, or you can use an app. More about this in a moment. But the spreadsheet has its advantages too. Let's take a look. You will have to print some of these and fill in all the info and relative dates, okay? There is a tab for blood pressure, one for blood glucose, and so on. These are measurements that you can do by yourself and that are really important for the health of your kidneys. Other things you can include are food intake, water intake, or liquid intake. This is another very important point, especially if you have protein, liquid, or potassium allowance to follow. Now you can customize your journal to include any information that you want. This is mostly an example. So the idea behind this video is that once a day you start a new good habit, okay? So this is the first one and you could already start it today if you want. It will take you just 5 minutes and it will benefit you for the rest of your life. But let's see our next good habit. This is even easier to pick up. Day 2. Make yourself a chamomile tea. Chamomile is probably my secret weapon because unlike what most people think, it's not just good to sleep better. Chamomile has so many benefits, especially for people with chronic kidney disease. First of all, it can help you lower high blood pressure, basically the #1 enemy for your kidneys. But it can also fight stress, and stress too is dangerous for your kidneys. Another thing that few people know about chamomile is that it will improve your digestion and lower your blood sugar levels, and this can really help if you have diabetes. So, why not make yourself a chamomile tea this evening? You know, this is a small good habit that can really go a long way, like our next good habit. Here, Day 3. Replace just one unhealthy food with a superfood. Okay, this is even more useful. Find an unhealthy food you eat and replace it with a healthy one. Unhealthy foods like those on my list here on the left are too rich in sodium, sugar, and other toxins. They are acidifying and inflammatory. You know, when your kidneys are going through difficult times, giving them another burden is never good. I'm talking about foods such as diet sodas and liquid calories, sweets, processed meat, fast food meals and fried foods, okay? Replace one food from the left list with one from the list on the right. These superfoods here on the right are really going to help your kidney health. They contain antioxidants and phytochemicals to fight the inflammation, are alkalizing to make your kidneys life easier, and are also full of useful vitamins and nutrients. Foods like blueberries, bell peppers, apples, kales, burger, eggplant, cabbage, green peas, and so on. Now, these superfoods on the right are hand-picked choices safe for kidney disease patients in all the stages, okay? They are low in potassium, phosphorus, and glycemic index, So you can try these foods without problems. Now, if you don't eat anything from the list on the left, congratulations! You eat better than 99% of the people in the world, and you probably are already on the right track to repair your kidneys. But you can still benefit from the next good habit. Day 4. Download an app to track your health. Now, you can download a medical record or a health journal app on your phone and use it to track not just your lab results but everything related to your health. Very convenient, because just like the old-fashioned health journal I've shown you earlier, these apps are a great way to keep better track of your health. They will let you know exactly when the good habits you are starting are giving you results. Also, the app can give you more info about your levels than the old-fashioned health journal. It will let you notice trends you would never have noticed otherwise. So, I've downloaded and tested some health apps to let you know which one is best, and I'll show you. Here. First one I've tried is called My Medical by Hyrex. This is a paid app, okay, available for both Android and iOS devices. Now, the most useful part of this app, in my opinion, is the graphic feature here, okay? It can create a graphic of your blood pressure, cholesterol, blood sugar, and more. Another interesting thing is the calendar feature that will automatically put doctor's appointments, prescription due dates, and upcoming lab tests on your phone or tablet's calendar app. The main downside of this one is that they don't give you a free version, so you cannot test it without paying $6. Now, these apps are more difficult to find than I've anticipated actually. When I started preparing this video, I was hoping to find dozens of them, but instead I found this one and another. Let's see the other one. Here. It's called Care Clinic Symptom Tracker and it's free or freemium. This one lets you set reminders for your medications and it lets you set health goals. It also lets you keep a diary of your values, including blood pressure, blood sugar, and creatinine, and it creates charts. Another interesting feature lets you track the nutrient intakes in your diet. But unfortunately, this feature is not complete and not many foods are present. And some of the most important features are only present in the paid version of the app, which will cost you $5 per month. Question: do you use an app to track your own health? Which one and why? Let everyone know in comment section. Okay, next good habit now. Try meditation. This is maybe my favorite, okay? I actually meditate a lot, especially when I have a difficult day ahead. I learned this lesson from a book I read about Mahatma Gandhi. At the start of one especially busy day, he said, "I have so much to accomplish today that I must meditate for 2 hours instead of 1. And this really made me think. So, whenever I can, I find a quiet place and start to meditate. While this helps me in a lot of spheres of my everyday life, it's one of the best things you can do to manage stress and anxiety. It can also be useful to improve your sleep quality, which is absolutely necessary for your kidney health and your whole body health, even if you meditate just once a day or once in a while, because meditation has great calming effects and in some cases can even be used to reduce blood pressure. And this benefit is documented by scientific studies, okay? Blood pressure decreases not only during meditation but also over time in individuals who meditate regularly. This can reduce strain on the heart, the arteries, and the kidneys. Yes, meditation is not something just Eastern cultures use, because now the Westerners do know how much it works. So if you want to try it, consider that it's not hard to start and it's absolutely worth the effort. Now, on my website, newhopeforkidneypatients.com, there's a free PDF you can download to start meditation for the first time. Useful if you want to start it by your own. I'm leaving a link in the description. Time for the last good habit. Take a walk or exercise first thing in the morning. Whenever I can, I put my alarm 10 minutes earlier in the morning so I can take a little walk outside. When I have more time, I do some light exercising. Walking or exercising in the morning when your willpower is high is the best way to prioritize kidney health above all else. And it's a great way of starting the day too, especially now that the summer is almost here and there is nature to look at. But most of all, you will see the benefits in your lab values. Because even just regular brisk walking can help you prevent or manage various conditions including heart disease, high blood pressure, and type 2 diabetes. Now, trust me when I say that this is the best thing you can do for your kidneys. The faster, farther, and more frequently you walk, the greater the benefits. And if you can do some light exercise, even better. Now guys, as I promised, I'll answer some of your comments. Last Tuesday, I've published a video about foods rich in potassium and phosphorus and about how they are not the danger some people believe. It's an interesting video in my opinion. Watch it if you already haven't. Now, I've got some comments asking me why now I'm telling them that bananas are healthy when everyone knows that they have too much potassium for a kidney diet. Here are some. But you said eating bananas is not good to the kidneys. Bananas are not allowed for those who have stage 3 CKD. And this one too. Please, how many bananas can I eat throughout the day? And these are perfectly reasonable questions. So I want to try to address some of the concerns you guys have about eating bananas and other potassium-rich foods. Now, the first thing I want to say is something I always recommend in my videos. Talk to your doctor before doing any significant changes in your diet, okay? And yes, if your doctor told you to limit potassium intake or phosphorus intake in your diet, do so. But also don't be afraid of bananas and other healthy high potassium fruits and vegetables. The reasons why I'm telling you this is mainly because blood potassium is mostly altered by the blood pressure medications and not by your diet. And also, let's take a look at how much potassium there is in a banana, okay? Here, as we can see here in my slide, a medium-sized banana weighing about 120 grams has about 420 milligrams of potassium. What does this mean? Patients in the advanced stages of kidney disease are usually told to limit their potassium intake, right? But they should still get some potassium. How much of it depends on several factors, but it's unusual that patients are told to get less than 2,500 milligrams of potassium per day. But it's still 2,500 milligrams. It's not zero. You need some potassium, okay? Also consider this. A red bell pepper, for example, that is considered safe by every nephrologist contains about 250 milligrams of potassium, and basically every single fruit of vegetables, even those with low potassium, have some of it. So my advice here is to practice portion control on these very healthy fruits and veggies with high potassium levels, such as bananas, mangoes, avocados, spinach, and so on. I mean, if you eat half banana, you are still going to get less potassium than from an entire red bell pepper, okay? And to answer the question about how many bananas you can eat a day, let's take a look at this. Here, if you don't know how much potassium you can have in a day, talk to your doctor and get tested for serum potassium levels. This is only useful if you have to limit potassium, obviously. So, get tested and take a look at your levels. If they are within parameters, chances are that you don't have to limit potassium at all. If they are too high, more than 5.2 milliequivalents per liter, start limiting potassium-rich foods and take action to get these levels down, okay? And if you want to know more about the smart way to manage potassium levels, watch this video up here, okay? The bottom line for today's video. The best way to maintain your kidney health is to take care of yourself. Eat sensible food, stick to a regular fitness regimen, and avoid unnecessary medications. Most important, eyes on the prize. Stay healthy and don't miss my next video. This Tuesday, I'll tell you everything you need to know about how to beat fatigue and anemia in kidney disease. So don't miss it. This is all for today. Thank you for watching.